This will be the deepest video you hear this year when it comes to any relationships you've had. I want to talk about this because you may be put in a position where you hear things about you, things were said about you, and things were shared about you that weren't true. Because you were the good person. You were the individual that had morals, treated people well, always showed respect, and all of these things in the book. But there's a side effect to all this because there has to be justification for losing you. There has to be a reason why. There has to be self-accountability for losing you. So in order to avoid the accountability, things have to be said about you that wasn't true to justify the individual's bad decisions. Vetting is so important, and being able to see red flags in the beginning is the most important thing. And it's crazy how narcissistic people have the same tendencies. They do the same things. In the beginning, they paint a picture to who they want you to be or who you want them to be. So much so that the certain things that you see that you ignore in the moment within the first 3 months, I would say. But over the course of time, you see this individual for who they are. You see how they gossip. You see how they never take accountability, blame shift, have emotional breakdowns. They are not stable up here. And they seem to be the cause of division. Whether it's in their family, their own relationships, or in general. These individuals find a way to ruin things. Enough about those individuals. That's just for your essay. At the end of things, be prepared to hear the worst about you. Especially if within those relationships you heard the worst about their past. This is why people tell themselves, and they don't realize that they're doing it, but they do. People tell on themselves if you really pay attention, if you really become a person that listens more than speaks. You will find out that people tell on themselves. And one of the things about certain individuals like that, they have a lot of pride. Everything's about image. Everything's about how the world perceives them, how their family, their friends, and their energy sources view them. They need to be viewed as this perfect, nice being. But behind closed doors, they're the opposite. And when things end, you are the good person. You are the person of respect. You are the person that brought a lot to the table. You're handsome and beautiful. You're strong, all these things. You're intellectual. You have things together. You have a plan. You have potential. This individual has to live with themselves and try to justify why they lost that. So in order to avoid accountability, they have to make you the villain. They have to paint a picture to something you did that you didn't do, that is so bad that the questions don't arise. The questions don't arise to force them to be accountable as to why they lost something good, as to why they lost something great. I've been in a lot of situations where the family is reaching out to me, the family is saying I'm all these things, but when the situations end, I'm under the impression that things were said about me that I didn't do. Things were said about me that wasn't true. Words I put in my mouth that I didn't say. And it's like these individuals all have the same strategies. And this can also happen in the workplace, because it happened to me in the workplace very many years ago, if I may add. You go there, you do your work, you mind your own business. I get a phone call from a manager. He's basically saying that the coworker is crying that I did a bunch of things to them and I said a bunch of things to them that weren't true. So you being you having good character, good morals, all these things in the book, certain individuals around you would rather do things and say things that isn't true about you to avoid some sort of accountability at the end of the day. Whether if it's something they did to sabotage their own insecurities or whatever the case may be. Imagine if I was remotely arrogant. Imagine if I really showed what I was capable of. Imagine how much worse it will be, how much the jealousy will get to a certain level, how much those type of situations will happen. I'm just minding my own business and I cannot avoid it. Imagine. And I definitely have things I can say. I definitely have things I can be proud of and really put it out there. But I just decide to be reserved. I just decide to, sit back and really watch the show type of thing. But that is what I noticed. I noticed this in basketball in high school. I noticed this when I was working after high school. I noticed this in my relationships. And I'm noticing it online in some ways as well and on my fitness page. Especially. It's crazy. So yeah. So if you're the good person, if you have a lot to bring to the table, you're handsome, you're smart, you're all these things, people around you, you'll make them feel very insecure. And especially in a relationship, your spouse can be your worst enemy if you pick the wrong one, if you don't vet properly. And when that ends, best believe there will be things said about you that you didn't do to make you the villain, so that they don't have to take accountability for losing you. That is basically what I'm here to say. At the job place that can happen, with relationships that can happen, in any facet of life, I'm just here to warn you. Be careful who you're around. Vet properly. These individuals can really damage your reputation, can really smear what you are as a person. And they'll win at it if you let them. So this is just a warning. This is something I had to speak on, because you almost feel like there's a cloud over you after something ended, but you didn't really do anything. But things are being said about you that isn't true. And it's happened to me many times. I guarantee you, if you know what I'm talking about, if you talk to this individual's friends, people they know, and ask what has been said about you, you probably wouldn't want to know what they said. You probably wouldn't want to know. It takes really and truly discerning people to be able to say, that doesn't add up. How can someone like that do that? But just protect yourself out here. Really. Insecure people are dangerous. Very dangerous. And people that aren't self-aware are also dangerous, because if you end up in a situation with people like that, they can really destroy your reputation. This is how accusations happen. This is how people lose jobs. This is how people lose opportunities. Protect yourself out there. Really. It's a real thing. Almost happened to me many times. And I'm a person that minds my own business. That is crazy. So for all of you out there, move in silence. Move silently. Don't reveal too much, because insecure people will find a way to jeopardize it. Alright? You don't need to be showboating, because it's going to come back to haunt you. I know you may be a good person. I know it's good intentions, but protect yourself first at all times. I just felt like I needed to say that. If you found value in the video, subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned for more videos like this. May God bless you. I'll see you in the next video.